last game against Buffalo, our first drive ends in a three and out. Then the first drive after halftime, 3 and out. They come into this game, I'm like, okay, Andy Reid had 2 weeks to prepare this beautiful 15-play game script. It's going to be awesome. First play is that little swing pass where Rasheed Rice get a first down. Then that's the next where he misses Xavier Worthy on the bomb. He misses Noah Gray in the middle of the field. There was kind of like a miscommunication on where he wanted him to sit or go away from the defender, and they kind of missed him there. Then the next play, he misses Tyquan Thornton on the bomb. Then you go to halftime. Our first drive, they flag Riley Moss on a hold on Hollywood Brown. But on that play, Mahomes throws an interception, which I don't know who the heck he was throwing to on that one. So that could have been a disaster. A disaster avoided there. And then we drive all the way down there, and then you have that pick that he throws on the one to Elijah Mitchell. And just look at the splits here: 45 pass attempts to 14 carries total between Kareem Hunt and Brashard Smith. 13 carries for Kareem Hunt and 1 carry for Brashard Smith today. It was 13 carries. Actually, no, Brashard Smith didn't get a carry today. Sorry, 13 carries for Kareem Hunt to 45 pass attempts today. So we talked about more of a balance. I mean, yes, it was a little bit more than carries that Kareem Hunt got 2 weeks ago, but still 45 to 13. And on numerous occasions throughout the game, like that 3rd and 2 towards the end of the game there, we decide to throw a wheel route to Brashard Smith in the sideline instead of A, get under center, run the ball with Kareem Hunt, or B, find something in the middle, a rub route. And we were killing them on the rub routes with that touchdown drive to Travis Kelce in the prior drive. Yeah. There could have been something there where Patrick could have stepped to the pocket and maybe ran for a 2 yards. We decided to do a play where we're running a wheel route to Brashard Smith on the sideline there. Come on now. I mean, and there's another time in the game, there was a 3rd and short. We didn't run it. And Kareem Hunt wasn't even in the game, so there wasn't no threat of a Kareem Hunt run because he wasn't even in there on 3rd and 2 earlier on in the game. There was so many moments like that in this game that, again, we kind of harken back to this. The play call didn't really make any sense, and that's been kind of a theme throughout the year in our losses, JD, where it's like they didn't really make much sense, the play calling in certain situations in this game. And I just think after bye week, just what we're used to with Andy Reid, it would have made more sense. And that for me, that's kind of scary because we look at Andy Reid's record, 22-4 coming off the bye. We're really polished off the bye. That wasn't what I was expecting. I know it was a good defense we were about to see, but that wasn't what I was expecting. And I know people want to dog the defense all they want to. The defense, backs against the wall, they held them 2 red zone trips in a row, held them to field goals. Yeah, we should be getting pressure on them. Yeah, we should have thought of more ways to get to Bo Nix. But first quarter of the game, they score a field goal. They drive down there on us. They get a great punt return. They put them in red zone right off the bat. Defense goes right out there, stops them, holds them to a field goal. They did their job for the most part, but offensively, we just couldn't come through. And I think for me, and I think a lot of people are just kind of, I mean, it's not that Andy Reid has lost a step, but should we be concerned about the play calling overall? Because after a bye week, we should see more of a polished product out there, and it wasn't that. Are you concerned about that?
You talking about as far as like just the play calling in itself?
Yeah, play calling, especially after a bye week, and you have 2 weeks to prepare. It just didn't seem like we were prepared for this game.
I mean, what do you do when sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot with penalties? You think you're dialing up the right thing, and then, you get a holding call. I want to say all of it's just on play calling, but I will say some of it is on play calling. It's almost like a perfect storm of everything, right, to lose this game. Like, we did everything in ourselves to hurt ourselves and to help them out. So, penalties definitely put us in a position where we weren't able to score touchdowns. Like you said, we give turnovers down on the, Pat throws one, we should probably just take off running, heck, settle for the 3. Guys sitting there. I know he sees him, and I seen Pat kind of just pulling up. So it was like I said, it was indecisiveness that I seen a lot of it. And so if you want to say a lot of that's just on, a lot of different things, accumulation of it, I think that's what we seen today. It was. And it was a lot of carelessness out there, with the football and some of the things that we were doing. So let me put it this way. I don't think the game has passed up Andy. I know people are sitting there saying these things like that. I just don't think they called a good game. I don't think the number of plays that we've seen them run and what we can do as far as like with, against man or against zone, with window dressing, we just weren't really creative at all. We just wasn't. It was like a lack of creativity. And like I said before, we weren't doing a whole lot of things setting guys up like for rub routes or pick routes. It was none of those things. So if you know that you got a corner down, okay, you're supposed to go after that guy. And like I said, we went up top a couple of times. Shoot, we just missed on Tyquan Thornton. We missed Xavier Worthy. But man, in the middle of the field, man, there's other things that I know that we've done before that we just didn't show. Just didn't show, man. And we're much better than that. We run the one, and I'll give you an example. So we ran that one with Kareem Hunt. He gets like 8 or 9 yards, maybe first down, right? And then we put him back in shotgun and run it again. Zone. And I'm sitting there thinking, we're going to do it from shotgun? Same thing. And we got, oh, man. You know, we don't have, you know, King Suma's out. Okay. And, you know, Caliendo came in. It's like you got to know your personnel. What side are you running it to? Okay. I sent you a text message. It was 2nd and 2, and it was a video, and I took a shot of it. I'm just like, we ain't winning the line of scrimmage. We not. What was I talking about earlier? I was talking about us running a lot more traps. Okay, I was talking about us running a little bit more, you know, cracking down. We didn't really run toward Benito. We just didn't do it. We didn't wear any of those things down like we should have. They brought in Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes Lewis is my age. Okay, out there still playing. And Mercedes Lewis knocked our defensive end off the football about 2 or 3 yards for a first down. It was like it was easy money. We're straight right there behind him. Straight behind him, right there is what they did. And that's why I sit there and I said this right here, man. It's the 2nd and 2. And I'm sitting there, I was like, I had to take a picture of this shot, man. I was like, man, we are not winning the line of scrimmage. Look at the right side, okay? So it's our left tackle and our right guard who's put around, supposed to be kicking out. And we getting pressed in the backfield. Getting pressed. You know what I'm saying? This, when we know it's 2nd and 2, you're supposed to come out of your cleats with bad intentions. This is the type of hunger I'm talking about. When you sitting over here, this is the type of hunger and mentality you have to have.
Well, when you're pass blocking 87% of the time, maybe you're not. Maybe you're just not getting enough of that run forward going.
Right, and you know, I've said this.
They're used to always just holding their ground. They're not used to pushing all the time, right?
Right, but
they're not attacking. They're not used to attacking.
Not used to attacking. But this is the time you have a chance to attack. Now you telling me you've given me a green light to go hit a sucker right here in his throat? I'm coming off, and I'm taking that sucker's jugular, is what I'm going to do, right? I'm coming down. I'm bringing knees, elbows, and everything with me. This is almost like you're just engaging the guy, okay? You're position blocking. This is a position block. This right here is what I'm talking about, a gap. This is a pull-down gap. The left tackle, right tackle comes down. It hits the defensive end. Okay? Sumate kicks out. This should be clean right here. This should be clean. And this is the problem I have about it, because when you sit over, you think about this is the time that you tee off on guys on the defense. And it's a mentality. It's an absolute mentality. And so when we get caught up in things like that, man, I just, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see. I know it's frustrating for the guys to endure this, especially like this season, because I know they came in thinking, hey man, we got a fast wide receiver group. We look great. Heck, we made a three-team run, didn't we? Shoot, we beat some good teams. We beat Detroit. Raiders gave it to them. Commanders too. Then we get beat by the Bills. We thought that 3-game streak we had we were well back on our way, right? We thought we was back on track like we should have been. And then all of a sudden we get the Bills, and somehow we short circuit with those guys. We decide not to run what was going to be our advantage by running the daggone football. Okay, we didn't do that. We watched other teams run against them and score points and do all these different things. and then we have a bye week and we come back and we show this against Denver. Hey man, that's somebody said, are you surprised by this? I said, I'm absolutely surprised by this. I am absolutely shocked by this in his performance today.
I thought we had decent push up the middle on some of those runs.
We did.
We actually had holes for him. I was surprised by some of those, but that's horrible. It's funny too because they rushed with their running backs more than we did, and they were way less effective running the ball than we were. Like I think if other teams were as effective as running the ball as we are against them, they would run even more against us. Like our run defense is pretty stout, so teams just stop, but they still do it more than us. Like teams give up on the run against us, but they still run the ball more than we do. It's crazy. I'd love to go through our games and see if our leading rusher averaged more yards per carry than their teams did. I bet you it's at the majority of games that's the case. We just don't do it. We just stop. So I mean, I don't know. It's an identity shift we need. It's like Andy missed his full receiving core so much that he was like, man, and now that I have everyone back, I'm not going to run the ball anymore. And Andy hasn't lost anything. Andy's been criticized for this kind of game plan since his early days with Philadelphia.
Really? Yeah.
This has always been an Andy thing, so he hasn't lost anything. This is Andy. Like Andy's been criticized for passing, being too pass heavy forever. I also want to say 7 out of our 16 third downs were for 10 or plus yards.
Wow. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I know if you look at the box score, I think it says we have 13 third downs, but because we got some of these back by penalty. But I'm just talking about we lined up. That was our third down when we got there. So, yeah, almost half of our third downs were double-digit third downs.
Yeah. Part of that is,
you don't run the ball.
Yeah, we run the ball to make it more.
You can't get a third manageable. You
Exactly.
take a deep shot on first, like a deep shot on second. You got 3rd and 10. I mean,
Yeah.
you almost have to play perfect when you play that way, right? And this is against a good defense. And we drove the ball a lot against them. We had 5 drives of over almost 50 plus yards against them. That's good. But 2 field goals in the red zone and then an interception on the other drive. I think we had 47 yards on that drive before we threw that pick. So it's terrible.
What were you going to say, JD?
I was, my thing is, when you know these situations, okay, where you are with this caliber team of players on it, there's no way we should have lost this game. And that's the most shocking thing to me, most disappointing thing to me, is knowing the type of guys that we have who are battle ready. They battle tested. They done been through this before. And we let a Denver team, which I think was, just played okay, really hang around and just it was like Sean Payton was ecstatic. He's like, man, this is the type of game. He was shocked. Sean Payton was shocked. He's like, man, it's the type of game that we won. They weren't expecting this. They weren't expecting this type of game from us.
They've been getting beat down in 3 quarters against bad teams most of the season.
Yeah.
They've had to pull off comebacks against teams like the Giants to win games. They were tied with us pretty much in the 4th quarter for most of it. So it's like, yeah, that's great. That's exactly what you want.
And when I heard him say that, I'm like, oh shoot, he couldn't believe it. He's like, man, we have a chance to win this game. Should we really do? And I know they thought it was gonna be tough. They're like, man, look, we ain't got everybody. And they coming off a bye, like you said, he knows what Andy's record is. He knows who Andy is. He knows who the Chiefs are. They understand that. They understand the caliber team that they're playing. Bo Nix is like, they're a good team. And hats off to them. I hate because when you sit there and it's like, okay. You got to kind of say that and you smile and you chuckle. And it was like, sucker, you just got away with one. You got away with one. You did, and you know you did. Be happy with it. So that's the frustrating part, man. I just, man.
Yeah, it was a rough one. It's a pretty rough year.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5-5, man. 5-5.
Yeah. 5-5.
It shouldn't feel that good.
No.
And the thing is, like, Kelsey's coming back, right? Like, he thought if this is his last year, he came back to he didn't want to go out the way he did in the Super Bowl. He coming back to a team that's 5-5, and now we're talking about potentially playoffs being on the table now. It's like, oh, man, like, Kelsey, you might want to come back one more year. You can't go out like that either, because he's giving it all this year, and he really is. I mean, people want to knock him, say it's time to let Kelsey go. People are saying we're targeting him too much. There's been games we don't target him until the third quarter of games, so that's a ridiculous statement. I've seen many people in the chat say we keep targeting Kelsey. No, we don't. Actually, there's been many games this year we had to target him until the third quarter of game. So I don't really agree with that statement at all. I did like that they got Noah Gray involved a little bit. They got Tyne his first touch of the season today. I did like everyone was kind of getting touches today.
I don't like the line of scrimmage pass for Kelsey though. He needs to get at least 5 yards away from the line of scrimmage. Those are like 2017 Kelsey type plays. Those aren't, I don't really want to see those anymore. We have enough guys that can do some good things with those kind of plays. Give Rice that kind of play. Give Worthy that kind of play. We haven't done that with Worthy. Did we do that with Worthy at all? Did we do a quick pass to Worthy? I don't think we did.
No, we did a snag with him, a whip route with him today, which I like because we don't usually see a lot of whip routes with him. I like that they did that with him today.
Maybe they're just worried about the shoulder more than we think. They don't want him to take. Because if you do a little quick pass to him, chances are you're going to get driven to the ground. I don't know if they want him to do that.
No, he's past that. He's past that.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. He's been out there playing. He's at the point now where you played enough games with the shoulder that you're just managing. Hey, look, I know after the game I'm gonna be hurting. I'm fine with it. And so you still playing. Because Worthy was out there playing, and then all of a sudden we just, throwing deep routes. He's falling on the ground. So you just have to, at this point, injuries to you don't really matter. It's about winning now.
Well, then, I don't know. I don't know that because we're definitely looks like we're protecting him on some of the play calls. We're not getting the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? You're not just getting it to him. We're like being very selective on how we get him the ball, which is odd to me. Just get him to do quick plays if you have to.
Well, that's the point though, Tej. That's why I'm saying like we just not calling anything creative. Like there's things we can do, quick outs and whatnot, double moves. Just didn't do any of those things. It just we didn't have the creativity that I see that we usually have, and Andy pretty much pulls out. Didn't see too much of it. Didn't see like diving formation in the backfield. None of it. And it looks like we run real high. When guys do really good, we run it really high, right? Everything is everything. Everybody's like, oh yeah, everybody having a good time doing a little dance and all that. And then when it starts stalling, everybody's like, shoot, where's everybody at? Where's the juice?
Yep.
Who's gonna juice them up? It can't be Kelsey. Can't be the one who's 36 years old and always juicing them up. He can't be that one. Give it to Kareem.
It's really sad too. It's sad because our run is effective enough to run play action against, but we just don't do it enough to do it.
Don't do it.
No one's ever going to believe a play action when you run it. One out of every how many plays do we run in total? We ran total plays 62. And Kareem Hunt had 13 carries. So 1 out of every 5 plays we ran the ball with him. No one's going to believe you to run play action. That's just not enough.
It isn't. But we've seen that they were bringing from the outside blitzes from the guys. It was almost like they were in our head. So I was like, okay, this is their tendency. This is what they're going to do. 3rd and 2, I think we did a rollout or a boot. And I'm like, why wouldn't we run Kareem Hunt, like you said, up the middle? We got Trey Smith that's right there. Creed Humphrey, run behind those 2 guys. And what you were talking about, Teja, that's where we're getting our yards, like you said, from the inside. Mm-hmm. So stick with it. We tried to out-leverage them the one time, and Noah Gray came to try to cut the defensive end. and we had the guards pulling. Sumaitei came around. He's supposed to get forced. Trey comes around and he filters with everything else. He leads up around it. And we got tackled in the backfield. Wide receiver came up. We got a penalty actually on that play is what ended up happening. But I was just looking at the structure of the play in itself, and it just didn't look as crisp as it should have been. Because I know the blocking scheme. When I watched it, I'm like, okay, I had to rewind it real quick. I'm like, man, this looks horrible. Cutting the defensive end, we trying to out leverage him with Sumaitei, and then here comes Trey around. He's supposed to clean up everything else. And it just looked muddled. It's almost like guys didn't know who they were blocking. And it's been like that all year. It has. Sometimes the guys are just indecisive, confused, staying with the scheme, and now I'm just saying this from a player, because when I'm sitting there and I'm watching the plays, I know exactly what the play is. And I'm just like, we had to do a much better job than that. Like I said, case in point, when I showed you that picture, and I'm like, we're not winning the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd and 2, and we're in the backfield. A right tackle and our pulling left guard is in the backfield. And we're not causing any type of noise.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.